So we are back with the Days Info Startup Series, and today with us Mr. Santosh Panda, CEO and founder of IOJET. Welcome, Santosh.
Thank you. My pleasure to be here.
Same here. First, I would like to know more about the IOJET.
Sure. IOJET is an event solution platform. It's one of the platforms that allows any event organizer, whether it's a professional event organizer or individuals who would like to do an event. It provides applications out of the box, all hosted on the web. So 24/7 available for anybody to do a ticketing event or a conference registration or an RSVP thing or charity fundraising.
Okay. And how old this startup has been?
The company started in 2008 Jan, but IOJET came into existence in September 2008.
Okay.
But that was a different kind of thing. Then we pivoted, and somewhere in September 2009, we came with the IOJET current.
And that was in September 2009.
Yeah.
So it's around more than 3 years. 3 years.
It's right now 3 years going to be in September.
Okay, and in the period of 3 years, what is the current status? I believe last April you have quoted that there is an unaudited revenue of around 1.75 crores.
Yeah. So when we started, because we started pretty early on into the SME, so we are now we can kind of claim or proclaim as such we are SME market leader. So when you look at the event organizing space, there are big scale events happening and there are SMB events happening.
Okay.
This SMB 30 to 40 attendee or 200 to 400 kind of attendee space is what we are targeting initially. So when we launched, we had hardly a couple of events, but in March 2012, that's financial year 2011, we did a 1.75 gross sales. That's totally. Now that was 600% increase on the previous year, and where we did around close to 30 lakhs of total transaction. We're going at the similar speed at this year too, and we believe because we came early on, built a relationship with the market, worked on with the event management companies who were traditionally using pen and paper, a different way of organizing space. They got solutions to do it in a much better way.
So, giving a whole scenario, the focus on the whole scenario, how many approximately or an average events do you handle in last, let's say last 1 month or 2 months of data?
In the last month, right now we have, last year we did close to 381 events.
That was last year, last financial year.
Last financial year.
Okay.
Now we are going at a rate of 5 events per day. So which is what we will reach out 1,000 events, 1,000 plus events by end of this year.
Okay.
So that's the kind of on an average.
End of this year, when you say means by December 2000.
By financial year.
The full financial year from April till March 2030.
Yeah. Having said that, we are at the months which are like really slump up. April, May, June are not traditionally event calendar.
Correct.
So we think we might go beyond that, but that's the number that we.
So basically, you're expecting the acceleration going further. Okay, fine. And I just want to understand how many, when you say that you are currently handling 5 events in a day through the IOJET platform, approximately how many tickets per event you are booking through the platform?
It is an average number because it depends upon, because it's a platform, it's not a movie ticket, it's a platform. So hence some events, for example, we had a couple of events in last month, which was one of the biggest startup event in Bangalore. We did close to 350 plus tickets out of 450. Okay. So that was, but then there have been events where we sell, maybe 40 to 50. So on an average, we sell that we've seen. On an average, it's 50 tickets per event is what we are.
Approximately what we are targeting.
Yeah.
See, one of the biggest challenge what we have seen these days, specifically for the e-commerce side, IOJET is one of them, the payment gateway. Because I believe in India, the transaction charges are really on the heavier side.
Yes.
It starts from 3% and goes till 7.5%. And then at that time, I also understand you need to cope up with those transaction charges because I believe the IOJET bear that charges. So how do you cope up with that situation? Because you have to take care of the transaction charges, you have to make profit also out of that.
Sure. Now it's a very tricky problem. I think this problem happened with Redbus too early on, and this is a classic problem which is going to solve as payment gateways in India are going to evolve. In fact, we are whatever we are doing, and similar companies in our space and other spaces are taking more pain than in payment gateways. Okay. Because traditionally payment gateway in India are a little bit of buggy and old dated and all that. Now, you're right, that when we are charging X percentage, that includes the payment gateway, hence we are not making huge margin because of that. But then as a customer wants a reasonable priced solution. So when we started, every event managers or event organizers, they said, oh, we have a payment gateway, why should we use you? Now, that was the right question that we need an answer.
Correct.
And we said, no, you don't have to pay extra. We are giving you an event management software on top of that.
Okay.
So you're paying the price of payment gateway, but you're getting an event management software.
Okay.
Now that really appealed, people who were early adopters.
So ultimately, you're loading the charges on the end user.
On the end user.
Okay.
Now when the market is gearing up for innovations and we came on with a little more valuable features. For example, we launched a FB Facebook ticketing. Now that's not payment gateway anymore. So now we can go back to event managers saying that we are adding value beyond the payment gateway, and that has going to cost you maybe a rupee here or a percentage there.
Okay.
Now, so we are evolving with the market.
Okay.
The way Red Boss evolved with the market, initially they really, it seems there are reports where they called up people and saying that this is how you have to enter the credit card to make a transaction.
Basically, you're educating
the people. And similarly, we had to educate the event managers saying that no, you don't need to think event management as just as payment gateway, but event management is beyond payment gateway, where you have to handle your support, promotions, your drop off people who are initiating buying but they are not buying. So now everybody seems to be understanding where we are all heading to, and it's good for the the entire event management industry.
Okay, so basically they are understanding what is the flow and what all the advantages are there.
They are getting, yes.
So they are ready, somehow they are mentally set with that, yes. They have to shell out the more money.
Yeah.
Fine. One important aspect when we are talking about the payment gateway and online transaction, the industry, the online ticketing industry is expected to reach somewhere close by to 750 crore this year.
Yes.
How much portion do you think that this is the industry which I am talking about, the online paid ticketing, which includes everything, including your event ticketing, including your movies ticket, including your offline events and everything. How much events and type of event do you feel that it could be IT events or non-IT events, you can book it out of that? What will be your share you can expect this year?
We kind of targeting, internally the target is close to 6 to 7 crores of transactions that we will handle, cross sales that we will handle by 31st March 2030.
Okay.
So if you say 700 crores, that is what we are targeting. 10% of that is what we are.
Okay. So these are pretty impressive number. Don't you feel this is the right time you should look for some sort of VC investments, or have you already thought of?
We have been discussing, but this is a space where in India first few players have come in.
Okay.
There have not been big players who have been there. There have been other good players who have been backed by big media companies, but there have not been an instance of an investment company backing a event management or event ticketing company as such.
Okay.
Hence, I think it has taken time for everybody to understand there is a market in this space, and I believe like us, there are other players there who would equally get funded, and this space is going to warm up and be better for the.
So can I understand that the talks is already in place and you're expecting?
The talks are already in place. We've been discussing with teams, and there are an equal number of angels and investors interested to explore this space. So they've been talking to us and exploring. But everybody would like to see where we going, how we going,
absolutely.
how the industry is going.
Correct.
And recently the industry has been formalized with the EMA India, working on the entire event management association as such. So I think more and more companies is growing in this industry.
Somehow, when I was doing a brief analysis on your industry, I found that there is a lack of reports, analysis, and this is an untapped industry.
Yes.
So how do you take it? What is your view on this part?
I think this industry is definitely unorganized because of traditional event has been there as past as we can look back. But then this industry has been more about hospitality than about process oriented. So the process has been many event organizers who came in, they had to do 1 or 2 events, they just put out the people and a little bit here and there, and then they're an event and then they run away. Okay. So there is no structural approach to the entire thing. There is no pieces of software that is available that you can see in any other industry as such. So hence this industry is bound to get noticed with a lot of creative ideas that can come in, and it's a massive industry because it's supplementing to hospitality, supplementing to entertainment industry as such. Okay. So we are quite upbeat about doing much more creative work in this industry.
So, as you're saying that currently there are, it is sort of unorganized
It's
at this
not
point of
organized
time.
right now.
And you started back in 2009. So, I believe at that time the situation was more worse.
More worse.
At that time, what made you to feel that this is an industry I should
Yeah.
target and I should start?
Sure. So I will go back to 2008 September when we first launched Ayojak. It was a venue and event kind of listing portal. So we basically listed venues in India
Okay.
and said in this venue these events happening.
All right.
And then our sales team went to a couple of venues and then we got paid also to list the venues.
Only to list the events.
List
All
the
right.
venues.
Venues. Okay.
Now then we met a couple of event management companies way back in 2008 December. When our sales team met, they said, you know, our listing event, there have been so many portals, so many places we can go and list it.
It's like a directory
Like
listing.
a
sort of
classified
thing.
listing, and
Yeah.
you know, we are paying because I know you, but our problem is that we want to put in a solution whereby anybody can buy a ticket and we want to deliver a ticket.
It's like end-to-end solution completely for the
So
event.
that struck us because 2 or 3 people asked, and then we realized that during the new year, so many events are happening and nobody is giving them a attached payment gateway with a simple option to buy a ticket, and the buyer would getting a ticket on his
Immediately.
Now we thought when we saw suddenly looked around, there was nothing there.
Okay.
There have been other places who have not been looking at that SMB section. They have been looking much higher one.
Okay.
When we said, you know, the entire space is void, somebody needs to fill that in.
Okay.
And we think even if in Pune, so there was an experiment in Pune, we think even in Pune we have 100 event management companies, take out 7 cities, you have so many customers there.
Okay.
You know, even if we take an average of 100, 700, Mumbai being huge and Bangalore and Delhi, so even if we calculate 700 event management companies, you have 700 customers to be served during even 2 months in New Year and throughout the year. So we said, okay, that might be a problem that we need to solve rather than doing a classified listing.
Okay.
So that was our thought process. Yes, we did map back to Western markets. We did see, you know, other companies like Bright and many other players doing similar work in the US and UK and other places. But the idea got backing because of the local demand rather than, you know, looking at Western and saying we will do what somebody else is doing in another country.
So when you talk about the demand, it's been almost 3 years. You have taken a long way around now. You have got lots of things in place. You have been placed in Pune, I believe, and then we have tier 1 cities like Bangalore, Pune, Delhi, Chennai, Kolkata. And as you said, around 5 events each day you are handling through your platform, so that comes to around 17, close to 16, 1700 in a year. How many events, if I ask you to rate cities as per the number of events, which city you will rate the most as your focus, industry focus city?
I think Mumbai is huge, no doubt about it, because of its entertainment background.
Okay.
You know, mainly entertainment events. So right now, when you look at entertainment events, it's Delhi and Mumbai they are leading. When you look at business, professional, and kind of like organizational events, Bangalore is huge on that side. When you look at other part of the cities like, you know, Kolkata, now they're a little bit still unorganized industry is still running. You know, I think another 6 months to a year when that you know, the entire community there would come out and say, okay, let's adapt a new solution and then not let go of the entire pen and paper. So in the number of ranking, I would say Delhi and Mumbai on the top, and Bangalore definitely catching up in terms of entertainment, but leading in terms of professional. Technologically driven and any sort of like, you know, event management companies doing events, Bangalore is topping, you know, it's on the top.
Okay.
That way. So there have been, you know, a lot of, again, I'm not able to give you the correct data you know, about each one how they be, because it's not a flat you know, sort of month. For example, during the April to July, we had more events coming from Bangalore.
Okay.
But when it comes to November to December, January, we would have more events coming from Delhi and Mumbai because that's an entertainment cycle.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's a cycle, kind of seasonal cycle that has thing in each city.
Okay. Now here we spoke everything about the tier 1 cities. You never tried to go and see the tier B cities, something like that, because I just remember the iGoogle story, because what they did, they after 1 year they completely shifted their focus and they focused on the tier B cities where the demand was much more huge because it was in volumes.
Yeah.
So have you ever tried to do so?
We do get second tier cities right now. There are events coming from Aurangabad, even Mysore, even Nagpur, just to even Chandigarh for that example. In fact, Jaipur,
Okay.
event from Jabalpur,
Yeah.
and even in fact we have event from Patna.
Okay.
So if you look at that, now we have events one or two. But the thing is, because all the second round cities look forward to big cities to say what are they following, and then we follow.
Okay.
And the adoption in big cities are only now picking up.
Okay.
So we believe the time has come for the second round cities to get the similar kind of solutions in place. Also, it is driven by only one category. All the second round cities, entertainment. Because right now most of the professional technological events are all happening in big cities.
So can I understand that entertainment is the biggest industry for the per se of online ticketing?
Absolutely. So if we have to look into the second round cities, we have to look into as entertainment industry only. For example, in Jabalpur, there was an event for Sonu Nigam or let's say Honey Singh. So that is driven by those kind of events. And once you get that event, go into that space, then you get more other things coming in.
Okay. Okay, fine. So let's talk about some of the challenges over here, because every startup has got its own sort of story in terms of in-house challenges and sort of some finance challenges, funding challenges, and obviously the competitors. So here I would like to know more about your competitors, because Eventbrite is already in place. I believe when you emerged as one of the prominent player at that time, Eventbrite was doing pretty well. So how do you cope up with the situation?
Yeah, see, in every space, having competitors is very important. In this space, in fact, we welcome more competitors, because this market is, if we try doing alone, I tell the same to my team, if we would have tried doing alone, it would have taken another 3 years.
Correct.
Because more people came in,
Okay.
they also educated the entire other event management companies managers, so they could test the product.
Okay.
And since they could test the product, and they tested our product, if our product is better, then we are going to acquire that customer.
Okay.
So hence, we believe more the better in this industry. Had it been any other industry where it's organized, it would have been a tough job. But because it's unorganized, we need more competitors coming in. Because that way the consumer acquisition cost is going to be lower, because more and more consumers are going to be educated sooner than you would have done on your own.
Correct.
That's number one.
Correct.
Now, when we look at Eventbrite had sort of training providers and many sort of educators using it. But then when we started, we created the platform from ground up. We understood what India needs sometimes. For example, even Indian Payment Gateway has a lot of support problems. We are known for the support that we provide. Many times the payment gateway fails, and then they never know that somebody is paid.
Yeah.
And so those kind of critical problems which we could outsource there to us. For example, many of the event organizers are full-time engaged in some activities. Now they don't have time to sit down, call to various event payment gateway to pay. We are the support guys. Many times an attendee wants to know about it. Now they are in a full-time job. They can't just pick up a call and say, yeah, I'm putting up an event, come at this point of time or that point of time. So hence the entire support is outsourced to Ayojak. We doing that. Second is the rupees payment, which is a big factor in that. Third thing is there are some critical problems that we found out. For example, if an organization is doing an event, but they don't want it in public. They want invitation only. They want a private selected community to come and attend. We have a solution for that.
Okay.
Now you can organize your own known people to come in and participate, and only them making a payment. So it's more like a private leveled or private invitation only. So we identified key areas that Eventbrite doesn't have, that the market might need, or that would impress the customer, and kind of like we kind of decided that we have to scale the support much higher. Even if that cost means X, we are letting go the X cost.
Okay.
And then we built some of the in-house analytics and solutions which we have that supplements our support, and that reduces the cost entirely. Okay. So what it might look outside that they are working hard, we are not working hard, we are just working smart.
So you are trying to fill the gaps over there, what has been left over by your competitors.
By our competitors, that's
Okay.
what we are trying to do.
But one question here which immediately strikes in my mind is, most of the time, or I will not call it most, sometime, what happens that suppose you are supporting a particular event, and on behalf of the event you are booking all the tickets, and at the last moment event get cancelled. So most of the time the people who have booked the ticket, they get stuck in from where they need to get refunds and all, because ultimately they pay to you. However, legally actually they are paying to the organizers.
Yeah.
So in such situation, how does your role comes, your company,
Yeah,
you know, how they handle?
Yeah, it's complicated. It's complicated for every platform out there. It's complicated even for Eventbrite, because even Eventbrite says that that if you are putting up an event, make sure that if you are buying for an event, make sure that you understand what event it is.
Okay.
And we are not responsible if the event doesn't happen.
Okay.
Now, having said that, the same theory doesn't work in our culture, because here we take the moral responsibility that we provide you a platform, hence we would be able to give you back. Now, at some point of time, we had scenarios where the event organizer ran away or the event didn't happen, and the blame came to us. Now, hence from quite a period of time, what we have been doing is we have been processing the payment on the day of the event. That means if your event is going to be completed today, happening today,
Okay. Then only
we release your payment. But on case-to-case basis, if we have been seeing that you have a regular event doer, like seminar organizers, you have a fair reputation in the market, then we allow you to do a part payment, so that you can incur your expenses.
And does that happen on everyday basis, or
we have a payment cycle. So we right now we do a 3-day cycle, 5-day cycle, and 15-day cycle. So if you need money every 3 days, we would able to 5 days.
But again, that depends only if the organizer is pretty straight and very regular.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So one thing what I have seen and what I have got from the market, a feel of like 1 million celebration, something like all the startups, the first goal and the first celebration is $1 million celebration, what they call it typically. So when we can expect that you will be reaching to 1 million and something, have you got any projection in right on place or something?
I think at this point of time, our target, that's always a great thing to achieve and feel good about it. But I think we've been pretty much focused on just doing the single jump, not the double jump yet.
Okay.
And I think in this coming year, if we reach out 6 to 7% projection that we have,
okay,
that's a pretty good number to feel good about it.
Okay.
And also, I think the number wise, if we have that many number of the event that we are targeting, it's a good number to have. Okay. But yes, if we reach out, let's say 100 crores of transactions, we would be more happy about it.
Hope sure you should be getting it pretty soon.
Okay.
So that was Santosh, CEO of Ayojik, and thank you, Santosh. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming.